Welcome to Algebra 1-2, second semester algebra, where we're going to watch some videos. Alrighty, so we have got a video about monomials. This is lesson 5.1. You should have your composition book opened up. You should label it 5.1 monomials. Here we go. Okay, a monomial. So you can write this down. A monomial is a number, variable, or product of a number and one or more variables with positive whole number exponents. Positive is important there, okay? Whole number is important there. So all of these, 3 is a monomial, x is a monomial, 6x, 4x cubed, all that huge thing right there, that's a monomial. These are not monomials. This plus sign right here, nope, it has to be a product. Product means multiplication. This minus sign, nope, it's not a product. We can't have a variable in the denominator, okay, because that's actually a division problem. It's not a product, so that's 2 monomials being divided. So that's not a monomial. Right here, that -4 power is not a monomial. It has to be positive and whole. So these are all not monomials. A constant is a number without a variable. So what you should have written down on this slide is I would just put monomial, and I would put these examples and these examples for no. Okay, we're going to talk about that in class. So look at that when we talk about it. All right, determine whether it is monomial, constant, or neither. How about A? No, it's got a plus sign, so it is not a monomial. This is a monomial, and it's a special monomial that is called a constant. So on this one, we're going to identify it as a constant. This is also a monomial. You might think it's not because of that division down there, but it's not a fraction, so it's okay. It's not a fraction. It is a fraction. It's not a, what is that thing I want? Variable. It's not a variable, so it's all good. That x squared would be over 1, so it would be on top. So it's good. So this is a monomial. This one, bingo, bingo, zingo, zingo. No, it is not because of the negative exponent. And E is a monomial. It's got a lot of stuff, but it doesn't have a plus sign, a minus sign, a negative, a variable in the denominator. It's a happy, happy monomial. Okay, so checkpoint 1. Now, depending on who your teacher is, they might have given you this printout of checkpoint 1. If you do, you're going to take a stop right now. You pause the video, and you're going to write yes or no, and you're going to circle the part that makes it false, just like I did in the previous slide. So pause, answer these questions, and then come back. Okay, the product of powers rules. When multiplying powers with the same base, add the exponents. Here's what the reason is for that. We're going to look at the 2, the g cubed, the 3, the g squared. They're all being multiplied. I'm going to talk about houses. In one house, I'm going to put the numbers. 2 and 3 go in the same house because they're the same kind of thing. I'm going to put the g cubed and the g squared in the same house. I don't like my numbers and my variables intermingling, people. I'm a little picky about that. It's kind of like I like my plate segregated, keep my peas away from my carrots. I don't even like peas or carrots, but you know, I like monomials. So put everything that's numbers in one house, everything that's a variable that's the same variable in the other. 2 times 3, those are numbers. We just know how to multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. Now here's what g cubed means. It means you have 3 g's being multiplied. G to the second means you have 2 g's being multiplied. So how many g's do you have there? 5. Now you could write these out this way, but that's a lot of work. So that's what this product of powers rules say. If you've got the same variable base being multiplied, all you do is add the exponents. All right, so look at this one. What we really have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 s's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more s's. So how many do we have all together? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is s to the 12th. Remember, you can just multiply those, or silly Willy, you can just add those together. You're just adding the exponents because the s's, which is called the base, are the same. So all you really want to know is if I had those s's all in my house, how many plates would I have to put out to feed them all dinner? 12 plates. All right. Ooh, look at this H. It's got a secret 1 up there that you couldn't remember. You got to remember to put that up there because that's an H. Then 8 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for a total of 9 H's. Do you have to write this part? No. You just have to give me the addition of 1 plus 8. So this X, remember, has a secret little 1 there. So how many X's are in my house eating dinner with me? 1 plus 4 more plus 6 more for a total of 11. All right, how many X's are in my house? I like to have my X's over for dinner. It's kind of weird, isn't it? I'm a silly Willy. All right, so how many X's are there? There's 5 in this house. Bring them on home together. There's 2 more, so 5 and 2 is a total of 7 X's. Now this one you might want to say 2 to the third and 2 to the second, but that's not what they're asking. They're asking you what number's being repeated. Like if I had x to the third and x to the second, you know there's 3 x's, 2 more x's for a total of x to the 5. So what do I have here? I have 3 2's, then I have 2 more 2's for a total of how many 2's? 5. So be really careful here. This thing is called the base. The base is what's being repeated. So what's being repeated here? 2. How many times? Those are your little exponents added together, and that's where you get your 5. Now on this one, we got oh, this is all kinds of hot mess. Oh my gosh, I can't even look at it. We've got a 7, we got a C, we got a D, we got a 4, we got more C's, more D's. Oh my gosh, I need to take those on home. I'm like the mom who rings her little bell. Here's my little bell. Ring. I can't draw a bell. Never mind. Rings her little bell and says, come on home, little kitties. So coming home to my house is -7 and 4. The next door neighbors are the C people. So they have C to the third and C to the, ooh, don't forget that 1. Make sure he brings home his 1. Then the house across the street is the D people. So the D to the fourth and the D to the third goes to their own houses. These things are called houses. Okay, that's going to be our secret word, houses. You write houses, you draw a house, you get credit. I know you watched the video. Okay, now, -7 and 4, those are just numbers. We've been doing those since first grade. -7 times 4 is -28. How many C's are sitting around my dinner table? I got 3 C's, 1 more C for a total of 4 C's. How many D's are sitting around my dinner table? I got 4 D's, 3 more D's for a total of 7 D's. So, first you take them and you separate them into their houses. All the numbers in one house, all the C's in one house, all the D's in one house, and then you bring them together, multiply the numbers just like if you were a little calculator and you were pushing the 7 button, the times button, and the 4 button, you would get -28. For the variables, add the exponents. All right, so this doesn't look like they're in separate houses, but they really are. Who's coming home? 4 and 3 are coming home to my house. I like those numbers. That's my house. X. Ooh, he doesn't have a number. It's X to the first. Ooh, he's the only X. He's an only child. I always wondered if you're an only child, does that mean you were so great they didn't need more or so bad they didn't want more? Never know. The Y's come home. Y, he also just has a 1, but that's the only Y. And then who else is there? Well, there's those D's. And how many of those are there? 3. So I separate them all. Numbers, X's, Y's, D's. 4 times 3 is 12. There's 1 X, 1 Y, and 3 D's all together. Okay, so here's checkpoint 2. So if your teacher gave you a handout, this should be using your glue stick, put it in your composition book, and you're going to do all the work. You're going to have it done. That's what we're checking when you come back to class. Is this checkpoint done? So you're going to do this. If they didn't give you a handout, you write it down. It's an amazing concept. Pencil, paper, wow, you can do it. So pause the video, do that, and we're going to move on when you're done. All right, now simplify the following expressions. What this means, remember when I had D to the second, it meant D and D. What this means is -3/4 W written how many times? Twice. So I write it twice, and then I bring them on home. I have -3/4 times -3/4, and I have W with a 1 and W with a 1. So -3/4 and -3/4, those are numbers. We just multiply straight across. -3 times -3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. And then how many W's are in my house? 1 and 1 is 2. We're going to learn a trick on how to do this in the next, I think it's 2 videos away. I think it's video 3. Oh, Anticipation. Okay, so on here, I've got a 3. Now that negative, remember, has a 1. Look at all these ones we're going to put in. You are going to be like little Mr. 1. The 3 is a number, the negative 1 is a number. When I bring the y's, I've got y to the first, y to the first, y to the third. So now 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. How many y's are there altogether? 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 3 is 5. Okay, now this means write that 3 times. Negative 3r squared, negative 3r squared, negative 3r squared. This number tells you how many times to write the base. Now separate them out. Negative 3, and negative 3 are all in their house. R to the second, r to the second, r to the second is all in that house. So negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. 9 times negative 3 is negative 27. How many r's are there? 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. Oh my gosh. Now it looks like I should write everything out, but I don't need to because look, this is the base, this is the base, this is the base. So what's being repeated? Negative 3. How many times? 4, and then 2 more, and then negative 5. So 4 plus 2 is 6, and 6 minus 5 is 1. We're pretty lazy. We don't usually put the 1, so we're just going to leave it as negative 3. All right, last slide is checkpoint 3. You're going to either write these down or do them in your notebook the way that on the paper that they gave you. But either way, you got to write these down and you're going to do the problems. This one, you're going to write 2x squared 3 times. This one, look at what number's being repeated and then tell me how many times it's being repeated. This one, I want you to go to houses first and then give me the final answer. Congratulations! Pshoo! Look at fireworks! You've made it through your first video! Wasn't that way more fun than homework? That's the world's worst firework. Hey, have a great day. Oh wait, you're sitting in class watching this with me. Applause, applause, people, applause.